photos online on Facebook if you're interested in that. So, to start out the second half, is everyone excited for the second half? Alright, so our first talk for the second half is entitled Building the World's Most Popular College Football Blog. Let's hear it for Brian Cook.
That's how I like to finish it. So when I was in college, I wrote for the University Weekly. One of our writers actually got to work for the Onion. This was really impressive. I couldn't find an email, let alone an internship, let alone a job at the University Weekly. And a couple of years after she got the job, she came back on a book tour. And we went to see her talk. And after we went and got some drinks, and she described what her book tour was like. And what she would do, she would give her spiel. And then she would have supplicants. And the supplicants would come up to her and ask her how they could be her, how they could get a job at the Onion. And at this point, she gave what I think is the least useful advice any human has given any other human. She told them that to get out of the Onion, you needed to have talent. I'm an engineer, and that's necessary but not sufficient. Also, Brian Cook, I write at blog.com, which is the most popular Michigan sports blog on the internet. It's the most popular college football blog on the internet. In January, it did 5 million page views. There's a slide that's about to come up that will show that it was had more unique visitors than LockheedMartin.com, which is kind of a scary thing to have more unique visitors. I should know that I am getting my butt kicked by Barton paying ticket party. So for some definition of talent, I have this talent on the internet. So I can tell you what I think. Now, a lot of people will say that what you need to do on the internet is you pick an niche and you dominate it, but I think that's too focused on what you can do. And what you really need is you need an insane zealotry. It's more who you are than the thing that you decide to tackle. So in my family, we have an urban legend, which I'm not even sure if it's true, but my grandfather was apparently an usher at Fairleigh Field. We've definitely had football tickets since the 50s. They're at the 40s, they're gorgeous, they're beautiful. But this is something that I was born to do. When I was an engineer, all I did was look up Michigan football information. So when you're on the internet, it's all in the top. So the zealotry comes in being that dedicated so you can be in a big part of the long tail. But that does not necessarily mean you have to be an expert. A lot of people come up to me and they say, oh, I wish I could do what you do. And you absolutely can't. If you've ever listened to an athlete after they've done something completely spectacular, they have 2 modes of speech. There's blather and there's jargon. And it's not very interesting. As somebody who is a novice, you actually have an advantage on people. You have an advantage because once you get that information, you're closer to where the novice is. You can relate to the parts that were difficult. You can figure something out and give people the information that an expert can't possibly give them. As I've gone along, I've added a little bit more every year. I've gone from not having any idea what a running play was supposed to be to having a fairly detailed knowledge on Michigan football. I'm not a coach, and that is actually an advantage. So when people come up to me and they say, I don't have this subject matter knowledge, it's about a desire to educate and a talent for informing. If you have that, and you have that insane zealotry, you can be But what you're also doing is you're outsourcing people's thinking, and so you have to get them to trust you. And since you're just a person on the internet, the only way to do that is to show your work. I use by something called Upon Further Review, which is a play-by-play review of every Michigan football game. One game goes about 12 to 15,000 words. One season is basically a novel. Now, does anyone actually read all this stuff?
Yes.
No. 5% maybe. There's a small dedicated band of people who actually read every word of this every week. That's only half of it. So, but they know it's it's there. They know it's there. And that's how I construct myself as an expert on the internet, by having this passion, by developing an expertise, and by showing people that I devote way too much time to what I do. So it doesn't really matter what it is, as long as you have those three things, you can be the head of your own creepy little cult. Oh, that's why I didn't come up with. There we go. I guess I have 10, 9, that's it for me.